Back to my mental health and crime channel. This is the case of the Idaho. This is all my thoughts, my speculations, and my opinions only. May the 4 victims rest in peace. Condolence to the families. Peter Allegora from the Sigma Chi mentioned in his interview that he was at the Betty Ball event where Ethan was Maisie's date and his brother Hunter Chapin was Maisie's roommate's date. Keep in mind that Peter said that Ethan was upset because Zana had many admirers and it became an issue for Ethan. He said that Ethan told him to step out so that they could have a talk about it, and they both took their beer cans and went outside. I have a slight problem with that. We all know that Peter was dating Zana. He was Zana's ex before Ethan. So how many ex-boyfriends get to talk about the same woman that they dated? I believe Ethan could have spoken to Hunter Chapin, Hunter Johnson, and his other friends about Zana. Why would he speak to Peter above all people, who was still interested in Zana, mind you, allegedly? What if Ethan and Peter stepped out and Ethan, just a theory, told him that me and Zana need more time together. You're always the third wheel. The love triangle, maybe Stacey was talking about, was Peter. Just in my opinion. I love this picture. I really love this picture. The reason I really love this picture is because, whoa, we have some interesting people in this picture. We have Peter, we have Ethan, Zana's ex, and Zana's boyfriend. And then we have David Loach on the left-hand side, smiling with a grey coat. He's the second last person on the left-hand side. Hello, David. And guess who else we have? We have no other than Jack Katovich, the little man. Jack Katovich is the one in the black shirt next to Peter. The reason he is really interesting for me is Jack Katovich received the Venmo from his sister Liz Katovich and her friend Molly Gray, who both were at the grub truck. Jack Katovich was the same person who opened the GoFundMe for Ethan Chapin. And he donated the first $6. It wasn't even the parents who opened the GoFundMe. It was this little man with the black hair next to Peter. And the second person that opened the Venmos and was receiving Venmos isn't here. That's David Berry. But yet again, he says he was the sober driver that night. Why did he want to work as a voluntary sober driver. His friend, Loach, boyfriend, is clearly in the party. Who's this little one with the West Side sign? So they have the West Side. David Loach is here to the left-hand side. Now I have a theory. Nobody knows what happened between 9 p.m. to 1:45 a.m. The police were interested in knowing where Zana and Ethan were. Okay, Ethan was at the Betty Ball party over here between 8 to 9 p.m. What happened after 9 p.m.? Did they take Ethan somewhere? Or was he really at the party? Or did something happen in the party? Or did something happen after the Sigma Chi party? Let's go back to what 4chan said. Ethan called David Loach. He's the guy with the silver chain on the left, next to the guy with the white shirt. Ethan called Loach and David Berry BUTT buddies, butt buddies. And we know that Mr. Loach was on steroids. We know the symptoms of steroids. We're adults. Rage, they can get aggressive. And mind you, keep in mind they were drinking. Benji drinking. These people were partying from the 12th to 11th of November. Now Loach looks very happy. Pete, what sign are you showing us? Drillers? With the K? Those are the signs the rappers use. What's going on? You have a bunch of Tupac and Nipsey Hussles here. May they both rest in peace. This one is clearly giving us the West Side sign. Jack Katovich put gel on his hair like some Italian mafia. Pete is showing us the driller sign. This little one is showing us West Side sign. Loach doesn't need to show us any sign. He's very confident with himself, in my opinion only. And we see Ethan here. Ethan looks like a gentleman, may he rest in peace. Look at all of them smiling. Were they smiling because they were happy to be together? Or did they know that they were going to backdoor these students? Now I have a slight problem with Pete. Pete, either you're lying or either Hunter Chapin is lying. I think you're all planned to get an alibi and it stinks. I'm a very active listener. That's part of my skills. Pete said clearly that he was the last person to see Zana and Ethan. He said he saw them at the launch and they went to his apartment to get their bag. He can't remember what color bag it was. He can't even remember what Zana and Ethan were wearing that night. He said, I remember Ethan at the Betty Ball event. That's this event with a black hood. Interesting. But you can't remember what they were wearing at the Sigma Chi party. Didn't you say they were in your apartment? You can't remember what your ex-girlfriend was wearing? That you weren't still over? Crime of passion. Isn't that what the mayor said? So Pete said that Ethan and Zana left his apartment and he believed they went home. He said, I saw them last at the Sigma Chi launch. Keep that in mind. But yet we have Hunter Chapin saying that Zana and Ethan were in my apartment lost. He said they left from my apartment and went home to 1122 King Road. They left the Sigma Chi from his apartment, that's Hunter Chapin, and he said they went home. But Pete is saying they left home from his apartment. Interesting. And the detectives didn't have follow-up questions. Jack Katovich, David Loach, where were y'all? I've been searching for y'all for almost 4 years now. At the grub truck, you weren't there. David Berry has excuse. He passed his test. He was a sober driver. I think he was going to pick up Jack D and Adam. Am I right? But Jack Katovich, you ended up opening the GoFundMe and you donated the $6. Jack Katovich, Liz Katovich, your sister, and Molly Katovich sent you Venmos for $6. What was up with $6? Were you doing some kind of ritual? Was it 666? For DM it was 333 because that is when she was uploading all the pictures. So is Pete lying or is Hunter Chapin lying? We know that Hunter Johnson was lying because Lindenberg snitched on him. Where was Hunter between 3 to 5 a.m.? Where was Jack D? Because there's a screenshot of him at the grub truck at 1:32, but he said he was at home by 1 a.m. and he fell asleep by 1:30. So now there's 4 people that my eyes are on. Pete, Hunter Chapin, because they can't get the story straight, the alibis, Hunter Johnson, and Jack D. So David Loach was here at this party. He's always had that cunning smile. What are you smiling about? Poor Ethan. So Pete, Hunter Chapin, and Hunter Johnson. I believe they both knew what happened that night. So you have Zana's ex-boyfriend, Pete. You have Zana's boyfriend, Ethan. And you have Zana's admirers, David Loach X, Pete, the boyfriend, Ethan, and David Loach was the admirer. So was Ethan upset of David Loach? Or was it David Loach, Pete, Jack Katovich, all of them? But I want to know where Jack Katovich comes in. I know that he was collecting Venmos and he opened the GoFundMe. But who were you out for, Jack Katovich? Who was their target? I'm sure it was Maddie and Zana. Because apparently I heard you were good friends with Maddie. Did Maddie reject you? Pete said that Maddie was beautiful. He thought she was pretty. So he had a crush on Maddie. So it was always Zana, Maddie, and Ethan that were the Sigma Chi boys as targets. I've always believed in anonymous 4chan. I don't think he was ever lying. And that's the reason I started this theory that something happened between 2 to 3:30. And I still stick to the fact that there was one target upstairs on the 3rd floor and 2 downstairs on the 2nd floor, or 1 downstairs on the 2nd floor. So did DM actually see Koberger, or did she see one of these fools rummaging upstairs at 2:15? And the surviving roommates thought it was the Sigma Chi fraternity boys. West Side. Gangster signs. This one's giving the peace sign. Did you all gang up on Ethan at the Betty Ball? Was it after the Betty Ball? Was Ethan even at the party, or did you all tie him somewhere? Allegedly. Trigger warning, was there torture there? Did you all carve his legs? Allegedly, I heard the alphabet X was carved on one of Ethan's leg. I need to check the autopsy again. So did you all give him the X on the Sigma Chi? Loach, did you actually go to Scotland? Was that true? I'm waiting for your interview, and David Berry, and Jack Katovich. Let me know, guys, what you'll think about this. We have David Loach, Ethan, Pete, Jack Katovich in the same party. Where was David Berry, the sober watch driver? Or was he the driver driving your all drillers around? Allegedly. But definitely Pete is lying, or Hunter Chapin is lying. You can take your pick. Please watch on Amazon what Hunter Chapin says. He says clearly that Ethan and Zana were in my room. They left from my room. They were chilling in my room up to 1:45. He said they left and went to 1122 King Road. I want to know who drove Ethan Chapin his red Jeep and parked it in front of the house. Because Eric Garwas said that there was no red Jeep there when he dropped Maddie and Kaylee. So now that I can finally put Jack Katovich somewhere and put Loach somewhere, Never thought this would be my lucky day to get y'all two in one place. And Pete. Christmas came early. So Loach couldn't have been at the grub truck. The person with the yellow hoodie was never Loach. Because Loach cut his hair short. And the person at the grub truck that everyone called David Loach had yellow hair up to the neck. Blonde hair. Let me know what y'all think. We have Pete and Hunter Chapin lying. And we have Hunter Johnson lying and saying he was with Emily all night when Lindenberg said he wasn't there between 3 to 5 a.m. What did they do with Ethan and Zana? Please like, share and subscribe. May the victims rest in peace.